Okay, today is a Monday. I'm making this video on a Monday morning. Yesterday was Sunday, so I don't know whether I'll post it today or maybe tomorrow or later, or I might not even post it at all. Sometimes I make some videos and I just look at it and I'm like, man, what are you talking about? What are you saying? So, but we need to believe ourselves. We need to trust your thoughts, trust what you're saying. Okay, so yesterday I asked my pastor a very important question. My question was, he has been talking about growth. He has been teaching us, you need to grow and all that. And he made a very compelling statement that the day you stop growing, you start dying. All right. So I asked him, I understand growth. I understand now. I understand my need to grow. All right. But I have realized that for you to grow, you need help. You need people around you. The Bible says in Proverbs 13, it said that he that walks with the wise will be wise. That means if you want to grow in wisdom, you walk with wise people. You eventually become wise. But somebody that is a companion of foolish people, he said the person will be destroyed. He didn't even say the person will become a fool. He said the person will be destroyed. So I realized that, man, I need a circle of friends. I need people that, how do I get people that will help me to grow? Because you need to do a self-assessment. For example, I looked at myself. I saw 4 or 5 key. I wrote them down in my notes. 5 key areas where I need to grow, and everybody needs to do those self-assessments. Where are the areas you need to grow? In your marriage, your finances, your relationship, whatever. So I've done my assessment. So I need to grow. So how do I find people that will help me grow? And how do I connect with them and make them my friend? So that's the question I asked my pastor. Okay, and he answered it. The way he answered it, it was interesting, and it showed me a perspective that I was not looking at, or I have ignored. It showed me a perspective that I've ignored, and I'm going to share it with you right now. And my pastor's wife also chipped into that, to his answer, and he combined in giving me this perspective that is just so beautiful, and I want to share it with you. Now, see, growth. When you discuss growth starts from the inside. Growth starts from the inside. So there's never been anything that starts growing outside. In fact, if something grows from the outside, I don't think there's anything that can grow from the outside. See, when you plant a seed, the seed start growing inside before it shoots down and shoots into the earth and then bursts out of the soil. All right. So that's how even a human being, when a human being is growing, every growth is inside. Okay, so I realized that I must start growing on my own first before I start looking for other people who will help me grow. Okay, let's say I want to grow financially. It must become something that I've started the journey on my own, in my own finances, how I manage my finances, where I'm making my investments, what I'm learning, before I now say, okay, I'm looking for a financial mentor. Okay, and that's very key. So growth starts from you first before it now goes to, you now get people that helps you and all that. Now, when it comes to getting mentors and getting friends that will help you to grow, now I I want to become a friend to Femi or Tedola, or I want to become a friend to Dangote, or I want to become a friend to a billionaire out there. It's impossible. It might be impossible because these people are also extremely busy. They won't have your time. Most of the time, when you're asking them questions, they don't have that time. And you might not even meet them. Even their families sometimes don't even see them. They are always, doing something. So how can you get this? How can you be in the circle of this person? And therein lies the answer. One of the best way you can know somebody and get even know the heart of that person, not necessarily by meeting them or by talking to them, but by watching them from afar and studying them. So a huge area where we neglect, because especially for Africans, we neglect the area of reading and studying. We always like action, doing something, but reading, when it comes to growing mentally, growing in knowledge, we neglect it a lot. There's a famous proverb that if you want to hide something from somebody or a Nigerian or whatever, put it in a book, they won't see it. So, from books, from following somebody from afar, like even now we have social media, you can know somebody, you can understand the heart of that person, you can know how this person thinks, all right, from reading their materials, listening to their talk, going to their seminars and all that. So you can get to know somebody and learn from them and even start acting like them. Sometimes you can study someone so much, the person doesn't even know you, but you're already talking like them, you're already making decisions the way they will make decisions because you've been studying their life. All right. So that's one of the ways to get get a friend, get somebody that is above you for mentorship and all that. But it doesn't just stop there. You see, when it comes to growth, like I said, you are at a level already. You know, you are already at a level, and if you're growing and you come to a level, if you get even those people that are close to you that are going in the same direction, not necessarily the top shot, like I just mentioned a few billionaires, not necessarily the top shot, but just you get some persons like some guys. Because I heard one one man of God, or my man of God, yeah, he was talking about how some companies started, some top companies. He just started with few friends who had the same vision. They sat down together, they were studying together, they cracked it together, and then they registered that company together, and then after a while it shot up. So if there are people who are within your cycle, people that everyday people, you go to church together, you guys talk together, and they have the same mindset, you can see that this person has the same mindset. You can partner with them, network with them, and at the end of the day, you guys look at each other in 20, 30 years and you are amazed. There are friends that come together and start saving money together, in an investment trust, and then after a while, they take the money. Let's assume they come together and put in just little money there, maybe $100, 200, 300, $1,000 each person. And then after 10, 15 years, or 5 years, depending on when they set their target, they go and pull that money and put it in an investment, shared investment, and all that. Those things are powerful. All right. So it doesn't necessarily, if you want to grow, it doesn't necessarily mean that you must get somebody that is far above you on before you start. You get somebody that will help you to grow. All right. So um that's the perspective I got, and I thought to share. So growth starts from you, and then it goes on to what you are studying. Because I saw this quote, I don't remember who made the quote. He said, "You are a product of the books you've been reading." The way you talk now is the product. And if you see my accent, I can fake a British accent, I can fake an American accent, but my accent is the African, the accent I've been hearing and hearing since I was born. That's how you eventually start talking. The way people have been talking around you, the language you speak is the way people, as in the language they've been speaking to you, all right? So, um, that quote says, "You are a product of the books you've been reading. You are a product of the books you've been reading in the past 5 years. Those books, those studies you've been making, whatever you've been studying, if it's social media, that's what you are, a sum total of that, okay?" And he said your worth is an average of the five friends you're following. So if you're following four people that their net worth is usually not like that, but let's assume their net worth is 50 million. So what's an average or 10%, a 10%, a tenth of that 50 million. So what is 10% of 50 million? Is it 5 million? So you most likely are a tenth of that. So it could be more, it could be less. So that's why it's very important. If you want to grow, you must choose you must actively choose. Look at people around you, and if those people are not going in your direction, if they are not people that will help you grow in that area, you have no business sharing your ear, sharing your attention. Okay, so I thought of that, and then what else? Meanwhile, this video I was talking about what you have to do, if you find yourself in a country that is not really doing well. So I watch it, and then I made that video for you.